Now, in the spiritual life, aspiration and willpower go together. Like mother and father, we need both mother and father. Now, what is aspiration? What does aspiration do? Aspiration is our inner cry for the highest. And what does aspiration do? Aspiration helps us in minimizing and in diminishing our desires. Once our desires are diminished, we feel peace within and without. We feel joy, delight. We feel that our source is delight, and we are in delight, and into delight we shall retire. Anandad bhoiva khallimani bhutani jayante anandena jatani jivanti anandam pranta visham vishanti. Thousands of years ago, the Vedic seers of the holy past sang this message. That from delight we came into existence, in delight we grow, at the end of our journey's close, into delight we retire. And now, willpower. Willpower is something that expedites our journey. We know that there is a destination, there is a starting point. Now, if you take help of the Indian bullock cart to reach our destination, it will take us years and years to reach our destination. But if you take help of the modern supersonic jet plane, it is a matter of a few hours. Now, without willpower, adamantine willpower, we accelerate our progress. Now, while we are proceeding along the path, concentration comes and energizes us. Like a divine bullet, it makes us feel that we can run the fastest. And meditation comes and tells us that we have to dive the deepest. If you dive very deep, then there our goal abides. Contemplation says, you don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to go deep within. You don't have to go, you don't have to run. Just stay where you are. Only give to God what you have. What you have is inner cry. If what you are is ignorance. Give and become. It is in your self-giving that you become God. Now, in the spiritual life, a seeker feels that he can exist without everything. There comes a time in a seeker's life when he feels that he can exist without water, without food, without even air, but he cannot exist without God. At that time, God, that reality, just comes and stands before him. God exists. This existence of God depends on our faith in him, faith in ourselves. Faith is the precursor. Faith is the harbinger of a new dawn. Now, in the beginning, we find it very difficult to have faith in us. whereas we find it easier to have faith in God. We don't know who God is. But when it is a matter of God, we feel that it is better to have faith in God, since many people tell many things about God. But for us, to have faith in ourselves is extremely difficult. But I used to say, if we have faith only in God and not in ourselves, then God realization will remain a far cry. Our faith in ourselves does not mean arrogance, pride, and haughtiness. Far from it. Our faith in ourselves means a vessel we have within us. We call it receptivity. If we do not have the power of receptivity, we will not be able to hold God's potentiality, His capacity, His divinity, His immortality. So our faith is the vessel within us. It is our receptivity. And God's power, God's capacity can only operate in and through us only when we have become receptivity itself. Now, how do you increase our receptivity? If we want God's peace, light and bliss in infinite measure to enter into us and operate, how do we operate? How do we increase our receptivity? We increase our receptivity through conscious and constant offering of our gratitude, soulful gratitude to the inner pilot. We feel that the power of receptivity that we have, it is He who has given us. We feel that the aspiration that we have has come directly from God. In our family, we have father, mother, brothers, sisters. How is it that I as an individual am praying, meditating, while others, the rest of the members, the rest of the family is not praying? Just because God has awakened me from my slumbering life, I am now in a position to pray and meditate. So receptivity grows, increases only when our gratitude flows. God exists. His existence can be proved only when our receptivity is complete. Otherwise, if we cannot receive Him, if we cannot welcome Him, no matter how many times He comes in front of us, we will not be able to claim Him as our very own. Unless and until we can claim Him as our very own, we will not be able to prove God's existence. Now, we find it very difficult to imagine the vast as our very own. We are in the finite, we are for the finite. We feel it's simply impossible for us to imagine the vast as our very own. This is the physical mind in us that makes us feel so. The mind in us always wants to experiment a truth or achieve a truth by cutting the truth into pieces in infinitesimal measure. But the heart does not do that. The heart does not break the truth into pieces. The heart wants to see the truth in its entire totality, wants to feel the truth, possess the truth, claim the truth as its very own in its entirety. How does the heart do? Heart is very wise. Heart goes to its elder brother, the most illumined brother, the soul. Heart frequently enters into the room of the soul, and when it comes back to its own abode, it comes with boundless light. The heart, our heart, aspiring heart, is inundated with light, and in the light, when we accept someone, we accept him in his entire existence. For the mind to accept God or any reality as a whole is impossible. The mind limits, the mind binds, the heart expands, the heart liberates. But this is the physical mind I am talking about. There is the illumined mind, there is intuitive mind. These minds right now is not in our possession. But when the physical in us, which is we call physical mind enters into the heart, and the heart takes the mind into the soul, the mind becomes liberated as the soul is liberated, as the heart is liberated from the light of the soul, as the soul is liberated from the consciousness light of the Supreme. We are all seekers. For us, God does exist. It is a matter of hours. He who has started running the race has left the starting point. Naturally, will reach sooner than others. But spirituality is not a competitive game. There is no competition involved there. If at all we have to compete, then let us compete with our fear, doubt, anxiety, worries, and other negative forces. Let us defeat them. That means let us transform them. If we can transform our fear into courage, doubt into faith, security, insecurity into security, impurity into purity, imperfection into perfection, then that is our success. Now again, in the spiritual life, we don't give importance to success. We give all importance to progress. Success lasts for a few minutes, a few hours, or for a day or two. But we cannot build our foundation on success, because we are not sure that every day or every hour we are going to be successful. Today we are successful, tomorrow we may have to accept failure. But progress is something that we have all the time, we have been making the progress. Right from the mineral kingdom, we enter into the plant kingdom, from plant to the animal, from the plant to the animal, from the animal to the human. Now we are trying to enter into the divine kingdom. So here is our constant progress. So when we think of ourselves as a song of progress and not as a song of success, then we realize God. God's realization does not remain a far cry. Here we are seekers. If we aim constantly at our progress, what we were yesterday and what we are today, what we are going to be tomorrow, if this is our aim, if this is our goal, then God's existence, God's realization are within our easy reach.